I can't believe you actually remembered. I laughed, clutching the small silver necklace Ethan had given me on my birthday 2 years ago. Of course I remembered, he'd said back then, smiling as he fastened it around my neck. I promised I'd never let you feel forgotten. That memory stabbed me now as I stood outside his office door. My hands shook while I balanced the coffee cups I'd brought for him and Claire. I pushed the door open, whispering, "Ethan?" The words died in my throat. Claire's laugh filled the room, followed by Ethan's low voice. His hand was tangled in her hair, his lips on hers. I froze. "Ethan?" My voice cracked. They both jumped apart. Claire's lipstick smeared across his mouth like blood. "Maya, wait." Ethan stepped toward me. "Don't." My fingers clenched around the coffee cup until it burst, hot liquid dripping down my wrist. "Don't you dare." "Maya, it's not what it looks like," Claire blurted, tugging her blouse back together. I laughed, sharp and hollow. "Not what it looks like. You're kissing my boyfriend in his office. Should I believe you're practicing CPR?" Ethan raised his hands, desperate. "I was going to tell you." "Tell me what?" I snapped. "That my best friend is your new toy? That every promise you whispered in my ear meant nothing?" "Maya, please," Claire said softly. "We didn't mean for it to happen, don't." I cut her off, my voice shaking. "You swore to me, Claire. You told me you'd never hurt me. You said we were sisters." Her face twisted, guilt flashing for a second before she lifted her chin. "Feelings change. People change. Not like this." My chest heaved. I turned to Ethan, searching his face for something: remorse, regret, anything real. "Did you ever love me? Or was I just convenient?" He dropped his gaze. Silence answered me louder than words. My throat burned. "All those nights you held me and promised forever, was she already in your head?" "Maya, I didn't plan it." "Don't insult me with excuses." I stepped back, my whole body trembling. "You looked me in the eye 100 times and said I was your future. Do you have any idea what it feels like to realize you've been lying in bed with a stranger?" "Maya, no." My scream echoed against the office walls. "You don't get to say my name like you still own it." Tears blurred my vision, but I refused to let them fall in front of them. I forced my voice low, steady. "I gave up so much for you, Ethan. Jobs, opportunities, even time with my family because I believed in us. And you, Claire, I trusted you with everything. Every secret, every weakness." Claire's lips trembled. "I didn't mean to betray you, but you did," I whispered. "And that's all that matters." Silence stretched. My heart pounded so loud I thought it would break through my ribs. Finally, I dropped the ruined coffee cup, letting it splatter across the carpet. "You both deserve each other," I said, my voice flat. "Rot in it." I walked out before either of them could stop me. My steps echoed down the hall, each one heavier than the last. Inside my head, Ethan's promises replayed like a cruel lullaby. "I'll never hurt you. I'll never leave you. You're my forever." Every word was ash now, and as the door slammed shut behind me, I knew something inside me had died, something that would never come back. I slammed my apartment door shut, my breath ragged. The silence hit me harder than the betrayal. I dropped my bag on the floor and sank onto the couch, burying my face in my hands. The phone buzzed. Ethan's name lit the screen. I stared at it, then answered. "What do you want?" "Maya, please, listen." "It didn't mean anything." His voice cracked. "Didn't mean anything?" I laughed bitterly. "You had your tongue down my best friend's throat, Ethan. What do you call that? Team building?" "Maya, stop twisting it." I was confused. "She came onto me, don't you dare blame her." "You didn't push her away. You pulled her closer." My voice shook, fury and pain spilling together. "I love you," he whispered. "Liar," I spat. "You don't love me. You love convenience. You love whoever makes you feel powerful in the moment." Maya, I hung up and threw the phone onto the couch. My chest heaved. Seconds later, it buzzed again, clear this time. I answered with ice in my tone. "What?" "Maya, I never wanted you to find out like this," she began. "You never wanted me to find out at all." I snapped. "I made a mistake," she pleaded. "Please, don't hate me." I laughed through tears. "You slept with the man I was planning a future with, Claire. If that's not hate-worthy, what is?" "Maya, I was lonely. He was there. It just happened. It just happened," I repeated, voice breaking. "Friendship doesn't just happen. Betrayal doesn't just happen. You chose it, both of you." "Maya, please." I ended the call and hurled the phone across the room. It hit the wall and clattered to the floor. I curled into myself, rocking back and forth. My throat ached from holding back sobs, but they forced their way out anyway. Why? I whispered into the empty room. Why me? What did I do to deserve this? My own voice echoed back, cruel in its silence. The hours blurred. I sat there in the dark, replaying every smile, every kiss, every promise Ethan ever made. His words rang in my head like poison bells. I'll protect you. I'll never hurt you. You're my forever. Each memory felt like glass, cutting me open. By midnight, I couldn't breathe. I grabbed the scrapbook from the shelf, the one filled with photos of us, ticket stubs, love notes. My hands trembled as I flipped through the pages. There we were at the beach, laughing with the waves crashing behind us. His arm wrapped around me, his lips pressed to my forehead. My smile, so naive, stupid, I whispered to the girl in the photo. So damn stupid. I ripped the page out. Then another. Then another. Soon, the floor was littered with shreds of what I once called love. I collapsed among the pieces, clutching one torn photograph to my chest. Ethan's face stared back at me, smiling. I hate you, I whispered, my voice breaking. I hate you. But the words stuck in my throat. I couldn't admit the rest. Tears soaked the photo until his smile blurred into nothing. The clock ticked louder. My breathing slowed, exhaustion weighing me down. Lying on the cold floor, surrounded by the ruins of my love story, I whispered one last thing before sleep dragged me under. You killed me tonight, Ethan, and I don't know if I'll ever come back. The pounding on my door dragged me out of my fog. Maya? It's me, Hannah. Open up. I wiped my swollen eyes and shuffled to the door. When I opened it, she gasped. Oh my God, you look destroyed? I gave a hollow laugh. She stepped inside, wrapping her arms around me. I heard. Someone at work told me. Why didn't you call me? Because I didn't want you to see me like this. I whispered against her shoulder. She pulled back, eyes fierce. You don't have to hide from me. Not ever. What happened? I collapsed onto the couch, and the words poured out. I walked into his office. He was kissing Claire, like I didn't exist, like I was nothing. Hannah's jaw tightened. That bastard. And Claire, I should have known. She always envied you. Don't, I muttered. If I think too hard, I'll start screaming again. She sat beside me, holding my trembling hand. You loved him. You gave him everything. That doesn't make you weak, it makes him pathetic. Her words broke something in me, and I sobbed. Why wasn't I enough, Hannah? What did she give him that I couldn't? Nothing real, she said firmly. He'll figure that out too late. Later that evening, she dragged me out of the apartment. Fresh air, coffee, something that doesn't smell like despair. I let her pull me to the late-night cafe down the street. The neon sign buzzed faintly, and the smell of burnt espresso hit me as we walked in. We slid into a booth, and she ordered for us. I stared at the empty cup between my hands until a voice cut through. Whoever he is, he's not worth those tears. I looked up. A man sat alone at the counter, dark jacket, sharp eyes. He wasn't smiling, just watching me like he already knew my story. Excuse me? I asked. He swiveled his stool slightly. I said, whoever he is, he's not worth it. Guys like that feed on loyalty until it starves you. Hannah narrowed her eyes. Do you make a habit of eavesdropping on strangers? He shrugged. Only when the pain's loud enough to hear from across the room. My throat tightened. You don't know me. I don't have to, he replied calmly. I've seen it before. The one who gives everything, left behind like it was nothing. Let me guess, he swore forever? My chest clenched. Yes. And broke it anyway. He nodded as if confirming something to himself. Then stop wasting your tears. He doesn't deserve them. Hannah scoffed. Thanks for the unsolicited wisdom. But his words sank into me like seeds. Stop wasting your tears. What's your name? I asked softly. Daniel. His gaze lingered, steady and unreadable. Don't let him turn you into his ghost, Maya. I stiffened. How do you know my name? He pointed to Hannah's purse. She called you 3 times on the way in. I listened, Hannah muttered, creepy, but I couldn't shake the strange weight of his advice. When we left, Daniel raised his cup in a silent toast. His voice followed me out the door. Remember, broken isn't forever unless you choose it. Back in the night air, Hannah grumbled, ignore him. He thinks he's some street philosopher. But my steps slowed. Maybe he's right. She looked at me, worried. Don't start doubting yourself again. I'm not, I whispered. I'm starting to doubt him. For the first time since the betrayal, the ache in my chest shifted, anger flickering where grief had lived. The alarm rang. But I didn't move. T work. Whispers followed me like shadows. She looks awful. Did you hear? Ethan left her for Claire. I clenched my fists, forcing myself to keep walking. Inside, I was crumbling. T lunch. My coworker Jenna slid into the chair across from me. Maya, are you okay? I stabbed my fork into the salad I couldn't taste. Do I look okay? She winced. Sorry, everyone's talking. Let them, I muttered. They love a tragedy. Her silence said enough. Later that day, Ethan appeared outside my office, smug smile on his lips. Can we talk? He asked. My chest tightened. Haven't you done enough? Maya, you're overreacting. Claire and I overreacting? My voice rose. You cheated on me with my best friend, and I'm overreacting? He lowered his voice. Keep it down. People are staring. Good, I hissed. Let them see the liar you are. His jaw clenched. I still care about you. No, I snapped. You care about control. You want me broken so I'll crawl back. His silence confirmed it. I turned away, my heart pounding. But when I got home, the silence swallowed me again. The phone buzzed. Hannah's name. I answered, my voice small. Hey, did he bother you again? Yes. Her sigh crackled through the line. Maya, you can't let him keep tearing you apart. Come stay with me for a while. I can't, I whispered. If I run, he wins. You're not running, you're healing. I shut my eyes. Then why do I feel like I'm dying? She was quiet, then said, because heartbreak feels like death, but it's not permanent. Her words touched me, but when I hung up, the darkness crept back. I walked to the mirror, staring at my swollen eyes. Who are you now? I whispered. No answer. Just the stranger looking back at me. I thought of Daniel's voice in the calf. Don't let him turn you into his ghost. Ghost. That's what I felt like. Floating, hollow, unseen. I gripped the sink, whispering, I don't know how to breathe without this pain. My chest ached, sharp and heavy. For one terrifying moment, I wondered if disappearing would be easier. The thought scared me. I sank to the bathroom floor, clutching myself. No, I whispered. I won't give him that victory. I won't. Tears slid down, but this time, beneath the grief, something else stirred, thin, fragile, but alive. Anger. Hannah shoved a cup of coffee into my hands. Drink. You look like death. Thanks, I muttered, sipping anyway. She studied me. You can't keep letting him haunt you. I'm not, I said, though my voice cracked. I'm changing. Her brow furrowed. Changing how? I leaned back, staring at the ceiling. I'm done crying, Hannah. If he wanted me broken, fine. But I won't stay that way. I'll make him regret underestimating me. Her eyes widened. Maya, what are you saying? I'm saying I'm not the victim anymore, I whispered. I'm the consequence. At work, my boss, Mr. Turner, called me into his office. Maya, you've been distracted, he said gently. Is everything all right? I forced a smile. Personal issues, but I promise I won't let it affect my work. He studied me. You're talented. Don't waste your energy on people who don't deserve it. His words echoed Daniel's, and for the first time, I believed them. That night, Hannah sat cross-legged on my couch. So, what's your plan? Scream in his face again? Egg his car? I smirked. No, I'll hit him where it hurts most, his pride. Ethan has no shame, she scoffed. Exactly. That's why losing control will destroy him. Her eyes narrowed. You're serious. I've never been more serious, I said. He took my love and twisted it into a weapon. Now, I'll turn his arrogance into his downfall. The next morning, I dressed differently. No oversized sweaters, no dull colors. I chose a fitted black dress, red lipstick. When I walked into the office, whispers shifted. Is that Maya? She looks different. Ethan froze when he saw me. Maya, I brushed past him with a polite smile. Good morning, Ethan. His jaw clenched. He hated that I looked unshaken. Inside, my heart still ached, but I clung to my new armor. Later, Hannah cornered me in the break room. What's with the femme fatale act? Let him wonder, I said. Let him think he doesn't know me anymore. Because he doesn't. She gave a low whistle. Damn, girl. Remind me never to cross you. That evening, I scrolled through my old notes on Ethan's projects. Numbers, deals, deadlines. I knew his habits better than anyone. Hannah peeked over my shoulder. You're studying him? I lived with him, Hannah. I know where he hides his mistakes. Why? Because knowledge is power, I said simply. And I'm done being powerless. A week later, I ran into Ethan in the hallway. He leaned closer, lowering his voice. You've changed. Did you expect me to stay broken? I asked, holding his gaze. He smirked. You'll come back to me. You always do. Not this time, I whispered, my smile sharp. You'll be the one crawling. His eyes flickered, uncertainty cracking his arrogance for the first time. That night, Hannah called. Maya, are you sure about this path? Revenge is dangerous. I stared at my reflection, red lips curling into a bitter smile. So is betrayal. And I survived that. She sighed. I'll stand by you, but promise me one thing, don't lose yourself. I already lost myself, I said quietly. Now I'm finding someone new. I closed my eyes, Ethan's face burned into my memory. You thought I'd stay broken, I whispered into the darkness. But soon, you'll know what it means to shatter. Hannah tugged on my arm as we walked into the company event. Are you sure about this? Ethan and Claire will be here. I adjusted my dress, forcing a smile. That's the point. Let them see me standing tall. She muttered. You're scary when you sound like that. Inside, laughter and clinking glasses filled the ballroom. My heart pounded, but I kept my chin high. Ethan spotted me first. His eyes widened, then narrowed. Maya. I smiled politely. Ethan. Claire slipped up beside him, gripping his arm like a prize. Didn't expect you here, clearly, I replied smoothly. But I go where I belong. And I belong here as much as either of you. Claire's smile faltered. Later, while sipping champagne, I overheard two businessmen whispering near the buffet. Ethan's been reckless with his accounts. Collins is circling like a vulture. I hid my smile. Hannah nudged me. You're eavesdropping, I'm listening, I corrected. Big difference. Ethan approached again, jaw tight. Can we talk privately? I tilted my head. Why? Afraid I'll embarrass you in front of your investors? His nostrils flared. You've changed. Growth, I said lightly. You should try it sometime. Claire scoffed. She's pretending. Look at her, desperate for attention. I turned to her, my voice calm. If I wanted attention, Claire, I'd steal someone else's boyfriend. Works fast. Doesn't it? Her cheeks flushed red. Ethan grabbed her elbow, muttering, enough. I sipped my drink, savoring the sting in her eyes. Hannah leaned close. Okay. I admitted that was brutal, but satisfying. Mask on, Hannah, I whispered. Let them see what I want them to see. Later, I found Mr. Turner speaking with a group of partners. Maya, he said warmly. Glad you could make it. You've been doing well lately. Thank you, I said, steady. I'm learning to focus on what matters. Ethan's glare from across the room told me he heard every word. When the evening wound down, I stepped out onto the balcony for air. Daniel's voice startled me. Interesting performance. I turned. You? He leaned against the railing, smirking. Didn't think I'd see you here. I didn't think you knew anyone in this circle, I countered. I don't, but I know weakness when I see it. His gaze flicked toward Ethan and sighed. And he's bleeding it all over the room. I swallowed. You're observant. Experience, he said. Men like him always collapse under the weight of their ego. His words sent a shiver through me. Hannah appeared, frowning. Who's this? Daniel, I explained. She raised an eyebrow. The calf philosopher? Still eavesdropping, Daniel teased. I don't trust you, Hannah muttered. You don't have to, he replied calmly. His eyes settled on me. But you're wearing a mask tonight. Careful it doesn't become your face. I stiffened. I know who I am. Do you? His voice was soft but cutting. Revenge can eat you alive if you feed it too much. Before I could answer, he walked back inside, leaving his warning hanging in the night air. Hannah touched my arm. Don't listen to him. You're doing what you need to do. I nodded, though doubt stirred inside me. Still, I whispered to myself, this is survival, not destruction. But deep down, I wasn't sure anymore. Hannah paced my living room. You're scaring me, Maya. You've been glued to your laptop for days. I didn't look up. I'm working. On what? Don't lie. I closed the screen slowly. On Ethan. I know where his cracks are, Hannah. He hides financial mistakes. He rushes deals. He trusts the wrong people. Her eyes widened. You're actually planning to ruin him. He ruined me first, I said, my voice steady. I'm not sitting back anymore. At work, I walked into the elevator. Ethan followed, leaning against the wall with his usual arrogance. You've been avoiding me, he said. I smiled faintly. I've been busy. Busy doing what? His eyes narrowed. Living, I answered, pressing the button for my floor. Something you wouldn't understand. He scoffed. You'll come crawling back. You always do. I leaned closer. Not this time. Watch carefully, Ethan. You're about to learn who I really am. The doors opened before he could respond. That evening, I met with Collins, one of Ethan's rivals, at a quiet bar. He studied me with suspicion. Why are you telling me this? Because I know things you don't, I replied. Ethan's reckless with money. I've seen the accounts, the hidden debts. He'll drag everyone down with him if you're not careful. Collins raised an eyebrow. And what do you want in return? Nothing, I said calmly. Just make sure when he falls hard. Collins chuckled. Cold. I like it. Consider it done. Days later, rumors began to circulate. Investors whispering. Claire snapping at Ethan in the hallway. One afternoon, I passed them arguing. You said everything was under control. Claire hissed. Ethan growled. It is. Just shut up, Claire. I smirked, pretending not to notice. That night, Hannah confronted me again. You're enjoying this too much, she accused. I sat on the couch, sipping wine. Enjoying? No, satisfied? Maybe. Where does it end, Maya? When he's broke? Alone? When he feels as helpless as I did, I whispered. Her voice softened. And after that, I looked away. I don't know. The next day, Ethan stormed into my office. You? He growled. I raised an eyebrow. Me? Don't play innocent. Collins suddenly knows things he shouldn't. You're behind this. I leaned back in my chair. Do you have proof? His silence was delicious. You used to admire my intelligence, I said softly. Now it terrifies you. His fist clenched. You think you're clever? You'll regret this. I stood, meeting his eyes. No, Ethan. For the first time, I don't regret anything. That weekend, Hannah and I went out for dinner. She pushed her food around. You're glowing, you know, like some warrior goddess. I laughed. That's dramatic, but true, she said. Still, I worry. This isn't who you used to be. Good, I said firmly. Because who I used to be was weak, blind. I'm not her anymore. A voice interrupted. She's right, you know. Daniel slid into the seat across from me. Uninvited, Hannah groaned. Not you again. Daniel ignored her, eyes on me. You're playing with fire. It feels powerful now, but it burns everything in the end. I frowned. Why do you keep warning me? Because I've seen it, he said quietly. Revenge consumes. Don't let it swallow what's left of you. I held his gaze. And what if revenge is all I have left? His expression softened. Then make sure it doesn't destroy the part of you worth saving. Hannah crossed her arms. You talk like you're some tragic prophet. Daniel smirked faintly. Maybe I am. He rose. Think about it, Maya. I watched him leave, his words echoing louder than I wanted. Later that night, Ethan called me. You won't win, he hissed. I chuckled. I already have. You're unraveling, and I haven't even lifted a finger. You still love me, he snapped, desperate. That's why you're doing this. For a moment, silence filled the line. My heart twisted, but I forced my voice cold. No, Ethan. I loved who you pretended to be. Now, I love watching you lose. I hung up, my hands trembling. For the first time, I realized I wasn't just setting a trap for Ethan. I was stepping into one of my own. Claire's voice echoed down the hallway before I even saw them. You promised me, Ethan. You said it was handled. I told you I'm fixing it, he snapped. Stop nagging me. I slowed my steps, pretending to check my phone as I passed their office door. Claire's voice cracked. Our accounts are bleeding. Investors keep calling. This isn't small, Ethan, it's everything. His reply was sharp. Shut up, Claire. You're making it worse. I bit back a smile and kept walking. Tea lunch. Jenna slid into the seat across from me. You've heard, right? Ethan's deals are tanking. I feigned surprise. Really? She nodded eagerly. Collins is circling. People say Ethan might lose his biggest backer. I stirred my soup calmly. That must be hard for him. Her eyes narrowed. You don't sound upset. I shrugged. Maybe I'm not. That evening, my phone buzzed. Ethan. I answered slowly. Yes? You think this is funny? His voice was low, dangerous. I think karma has good timing. I said coolly. You're sabotaging me. Or maybe, I whispered, you're just falling apart all by yourself. His silence was thick with rage. Then he spat. You regret this. No, Ethan, I said before hanging up. You will. 2 days later, I saw Claire alone in the lobby. Her eyes were swollen, makeup smeared. I approached casually. Rough day? She glared. You did this. I tilted my head. Did what? Smile too much? Wear the wrong shoes? Don't play dumb. Her voice shook. He's unraveling. And it started when you changed. I leaned closer. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's the guilt eating both of you alive. Her lips trembled. I should have known you'd come back swinging. Funny, I said softly. I should have known you'd stab me in the back. She flinched, and I walked away before she could answer. That night, Hannah called. You sound cheerful, she accused. Do I? I asked lightly. Yes. Spill. I told her about Ethan and Claire's fight, about the cracks spreading faster than I expected. Maya, this is dangerous, she warned. If he figures out how much you know, let him. I cut in. The more desperate he gets, the sloppier he becomes. Hannah sighed. I don't recognize you anymore. Good, I said quietly. Because the old me is gone. The next day, Ethan cornered me in the parking lot. You think you're clever, he growled. I folded my arms. I don't think, Ethan. I know. His face twisted. You still want me. That's why you're obsessed. I laughed bitterly. Want you? I wouldn't touch you if the world ended tomorrow. His voice dropped. You'll regret crossing me. I stepped closer, my smile sharp. I already regret loving you. Everything else feels like freedom. He froze, searching my face for weakness. But I gave him none. Later that week, Daniel appeared at the cafe where Hannah and I sat. You again? Hannah muttered. He ignored her, eyes locked on me. So, it's happening. His empire is cracking. I set down my cup. Yes. And how do you feel? He asked softly. Alive, I said. For the first time since it all began, his gaze didn't waver. Careful. There's a thin line between justice and obsession. Hannah rolled her eyes. Ignore him, Maya. But Daniel's words lingered, heavy as smoke. That night, I dreamed of Ethan begging, of Claire screaming, of me standing tall. When I woke, I whispered to myself, this is just the beginning, because their world wasn't just cracking. It was collapsing. The knock on my door was frantic. Maya, open up, it's me. Ethan's voice, ragged, desperate. I hesitated, then pulled the door open. His suit was wrinkled, his eyes bloodshot. For once, he looked small. What do you want? I asked coldly. He stepped inside without permission. I need to talk to you. I crossed my arms. Make it quick. He ran a hand through his hair. Everything's falling apart. Collins sabotaged my deals. Investors are pulling out. And Claire, she left. Good for her, I said flatly. His eyes flickered. Maya, I made a mistake. A huge mistake. I should never have hurt you. I laughed, bitter and sharp. Now you remember? I was stupid, he said, stepping closer. She meant nothing. You were everything. I love you, Maya. Don't, I snapped. Don't you dare say those words. But it's true, he pleaded. I miss you. I can't sleep. Can't think you didn't miss me when you had her in your arms. I cut him off, his voice cracked. I thought I wanted something different, but I was wrong. Please, give me another chance. We can fix this. I stared at him, fury and grief clashing inside me. Fix this? You shattered me, Ethan. You broke everything I trusted. There's no glue strong enough for that. He dropped to his knees, grabbing my hands. I'll prove it. I'll spend the rest of my life making it right. I yanked my hands free. Get up. You begging doesn't erase what you did. Maya, I swear you swore before. My voice cracked like thunder. You swore you'd never hurt me, and then you betrayed me with the one person I trusted most. Do you know what that does to someone? Do you know how it feels to wake up every day choking on betrayal? Tears filled his eyes. I know I don't deserve you, but please don't throw us away. I shook my head slowly. You threw us away the moment you chose her. I'm just finally strong enough to walk away. His face twisted in pain. So that's it? You want to see me suffer? No, I whispered. I want to see myself free. He reached for me again, but I stepped back. Don't touch me. Maya, please, he begged. I can't lose you. You already did, I said firmly. And this time, I won't let you crawl back into my life. Silence filled the room. He wiped at his face, trembling. You've changed. Yes, I said, my voice steady. Because I had to. Because you left me no choice. He whispered, I still love you. I met his eyes, my chest aching, but my words were final. Then live with that love like a curse. Because it's all you'll have left. He flinched like I'd struck him. For a moment, neither of us moved. Then he staggered toward the door. Before leaving, he turned. One day, You'll regret this. I held his gaze. No, Ethan. The only regret I'll ever have is trusting you in the first place. The door slammed shut behind him. I sank onto the couch, my body shaking. Hannah's words echoed in my head. Don't lose yourself. And Daniel's. Revenge consumes, but tonight wasn't about revenge. It was about me choosing myself for the first time. I whispered into the quiet. I'm not broken anymore. And I'll never beg again. Hannah burst into my apartment without knocking. Tell me you didn't let him in again. I sighed. He came. He begged. I said no. Her eyes widened. You actually refused? I did. I sank into the couch. He cried, Hannah. He said he loved me. And for a second, I almost believed him. But you didn't. No, I shook my head. Because belief was what killed me the first time. 2 days later, whispers spread through the office. Jenna leaned across her desk toward me. Did you hear? Claire's gone. Gone? I asked carefully. She dumped him. Said he ruined her life. She left the city. I forced a neutral smile. Interesting. Jenna lowered her voice. And Ethan? He's collapsing. His investors are gone. His car got repossessed. He's finished. A strange ache bloomed in my chest. I whispered, so it's over. That evening, Ethan showed up outside my building again. His clothes were wrinkled, his eyes hollow. Maya, he said softly, I have nothing left. Claire left. My business is destroyed. Everyone's turned against me. I crossed my arms. And you think I'll save you? I think you're the only one who ever truly cared, he whispered. I was a fool. Please, just don't leave me like this. I stared at him, heart pounding. Do you even hear yourself? You destroyed me, and now you're asking me to heal you? His voice broke. Because I know you're stronger than me. My throat tightened, but I forced myself to say the words. That's why you don't deserve me. He crumpled, covering his face. I don't know how to live without you. Then learn, I said coldly. The way I had to. I turned and walked inside, shutting the door on his sobs. Later, Hannah poured wine into my glass. You don't look happy. I thought this is what you wanted. I thought so too, I admitted. But watching him unravel, it doesn't feel like victory. It feels empty. She touched my hand. Because revenge doesn't heal. Only moving on does. The next night, Daniel found me outside the cafe. You look lighter, he said. Do I? I asked, sitting beside him. Yes, he said simply. Because you chose yourself instead of him. I studied him. Why do you care so much about what I do? He smirked. Maybe I like broken things that learn to fight back. I rolled my eyes. I'm not broken anymore. Good, he said quietly. Then maybe now you can start living. At home. I looked around my apartment. The torn scrapbook still lay in pieces on the shelf. I picked up a page, one where Ethan's arms were around me. For a moment, the ache returned. Then I ripped the page in half and tossed it away. Goodbye, I whispered. The next day at work, Mr. Turner called me into his office. Maya, he said warmly, I've noticed the change in you. Your focus, your confidence. I'd like to put you on a new project leadership role. My chest tightened. Me? You've earned it, he replied. Don't let the past drag you down. You have potential far beyond what you see now. I left his office trembling. But for once it wasn't from fear. That night, Hannah clinked her glass against mine. To freedom, she toasted. I smiled faintly. To freedom. But inside, I whispered to myself, to survival. To becoming someone new. Because Ethan was shattered. Claire was gone. And me? I was scarred. Yes. Shattered, yes. But finally free. The morning light spilled across my floor, warm and gentle. For the first time in months, I didn't wake up with a weight pressing on my chest. I whispered into the quiet, it's over. But I knew it wasn't just about Ethan or Claire anymore. It was about me, about who I had become. Later that day, Hannah dragged me to the park. Fresh air, sunshine, maybe even a smile. You need it. I laughed softly. You make me sound like a zombie. You were, she teased, bumping my shoulder. But now I don't know, Maya. You look alive again. I sat on the bench, watching children run across the grass. Alive but different. I'll never be who I was before. Good, she said firmly. The girl who trusted Ethan blindly is gone. You're stronger now, I whispered, almost to myself. Stronger but colder. Hannah frowned. No, don't confuse strength with bitterness. You still have warmth. I see it every time you laugh. Her words sank into me like sunlight. That evening, my phone buzzed with an unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. Maya? Ethan's voice hoarse, broken. I stiffened. What do you want? Just to hear you, he whispered. I can't stop thinking about you. I lost everything, and it's my fault. I know that, but please, don't erase me completely. I closed my eyes, gripping the phone. You already erased yourself the day you betrayed me. Maya, I'm begging no, I said firmly. Beg all you want. I'm done carrying your sins. I hung up, my hand trembling. But this time, the trembling wasn't weakness. It was release. Days later, Daniel met me at the cafe again. You look different, he said, studying me. Everyone keeps saying that, I replied. Maybe I am. He leaned forward. So, is it done? Is he gone? Yes, I said simply. And I didn't even have to destroy him. He did it himself. Daniel nodded slowly. Karma works faster when you stop holding the blade. I tilted my head. Is that your way of saying I should move on? Yes, he said softly. Because you deserve more than being someone's revenge story. You deserve to be your own beginning. His words caught me off guard. A beginning, I repeated. Exactly. He smiled faintly. And I'd like to see where yours goes. That night, I sat by my window, looking out at the city lights. The scars inside me still ached, but I realized something. Pain didn't own me anymore. I whispered, I own it. The next week, Mr. Turner called me into his office again. Maya, the project is yours. You'll lead the team. I trust you. My heart leapt. Thank you. I won't let you down. Walking out of his office, I felt a surge of pride. I wasn't just surviving, I was building. Hannah showed up that night with wine and snacks. To new chapters, she toasted. I smiled, clinking my glass against hers. To new chapters. She studied me quietly. You know, I think Daniel's right. I raised an eyebrow. About what? That you deserve more. And maybe you should let yourself have it. I rolled my eyes. You're matchmaking now? She smirked. Maybe. Or maybe I just want to see you happy again. Her words warmed me, but I stayed quiet. Later, lying in bed, I thought about it. About Daniel's piercing gaze. About Hannah's unwavering loyalty. About the girl I used to be, the one who thought forever was a promise carved in stone. That girl was gone. In her place stood someone sharper, stronger. A woman who had walked through betrayal, burned in its fire, and come out forged in steel. I stood before the mirror, whispering to my reflection. He thought I'd stay broken. The woman staring back at me smiled, fierce and unyielding, but I rose. And my revenge, it shattered his world. I touched the mirror gently, eyes wet but steady. Now it's my turn to live, and for the first time, I believed it.